Namaste and Sat Nam, yogis. I'm Tracy, and this is Yoga Union, where people unite in a quest for wellness of body, mind, and spirit. Whether you're a yoga virgin or a seasoned practitioner, Tracy's Yoga Union has a place for your mat. So let's roll those mats out and get started. We're about to begin the month of March, and for this month, we will focus on rebirth, renewal. Waiting for those first days of spring as the earth also comes back to life, renews itself after its winter sleep. So our practice today will start with some full body warm-ups from our toes to the top of our head. After that, I will have a face yoga linked up in the description of the YouTube. So I would encourage you to pause after the warm-ups and give the face yoga a try. Nothing better than toning up the face to instill or create even more that intention of rebirth and renewal. And then we'll flow through some nice yoga that will warm us up slowly and then heat up the body a bit as well. We'll end with several different twists on our back and also incorporate a nice restorative posture at the end, the supported or restorative bridge. So all kinds of great stuff in store for March as we focus on rebirth and renewal. So let's bring our palms to heart center. Lightly bow that head to start to get a nice stretch in the back of the neck. And we'll just come into that breath. Full inhales, long exhales through the nose, filling up and emptying out that low belly. And as we settle in for our practice, a nice quote from that Persian poet Rumi. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself. And we'll drop our hands down to our hips to start our warm-up, focusing on that rebirth, renewal, bringing back some energy and activity to the body. So we'll start with the right toe tips, and we'll just tap those out 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's tap those left toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's come back to that right foot and we'll circle the ankles 5 times in one direction and then 5 times in the other. So right ankle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse that. 4, 3, 2, 1. And the left ankle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reverse, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can keep your hands on your hips or drop them down to your side. We're just going to march in place. So bringing that knee up 90 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Fabulous. We're going to keep our gaze forward, and we're just going to do some ragdoll swings. So letting the body be loose and heavy, just swinging and swaying from side to side, letting the arms wrap around the body, but keeping that gaze forward. You could inhale one direction, exhale the opposite. Let's do a couple more on each side. And wrap that up. Now we'll do some torso twists. So we will turn to look in the direction we're twisting. And we want to use our core for these movements. And again, we could inhale one direction, exhale the next. We start to coordinate our breath and our movement together. So twisting, twisting, inhaling one way, exhaling the next. Initiating that movement here at the core. Maybe even hands on hips could help bring a little awareness to that. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's do two more on each side. Starting to feel the energy move through the body. Now we'll do some bear hugs, alternating which arm is on top. So start with whichever arm and just really let those arms swing heavy. Kind of giving your back a nice slap there, hugging yourself. Nice big fluid movements. Coordinating that breath. Maybe the hug is the inhale, the opening up is the exhale. Couple more each side. Great work. Shake it out. Now we'll bring those arms up to a T, and we'll do some small arm circles, maybe 5 in one direction. 5 in the other direction. Let's do 5 more forward. And 5 backwards. Keep those arms at a T, and now let's circle at the wrists in one direction. Change that other direction. And release those arms down. And we'll do some neck turns to wrap up our warming up here. So looking right to left, again, you could inhale one direction, exhale the other. So just turning the neck, warming that up nicely.
Believe it or not, this isn't so crazy. As a doctor, I found that whenever a woman's skin looks inexplicably younger, firmer, and more lifted than here, this so-called masculine habit almost always.
One more on each side. And we'll wrap up our warm-ups there. Here's the point where I would recommend you stop the video and check out the link that I have in the descriptor of the face yoga. Give that face some nice rebirth and renewal as well. So hopefully you'll give that a try. We'll keep going with our flow. We'll come to the front of our mats.
I've also dedicated a large portion of my career to searching for ways to defy the signs of aging without knives or needles. You see, I first started looking into this phenomenon.
Guess I need to sign up for the extended YouTube version, right? So we'll come to the fronts of our mat. And Actually, before we get rolling here, if you do have a bolster or a blanket that you could use for our supported restorative bridge at the end, you might want to grab that real quick now. And I'll meet you at the top of our mat, finding a nice, steady mountain pose. Maybe even thinking about how at this point, things on a mountain might be starting to renew themselves. Some rebirth in the trees and the grass. And it's time for us to do that as well. Continuing that warming up a bit with a few modified and full sun salutations. Inhale those arms up, overhead. Exhale, bring those palms through to heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale as you sweep those arms up, overhead, bringing them back to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come through to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale as we sweep out and up. Exhale, bringing those palms back to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step one foot back. And then the other. Ease on down to the mat to prepare for our cobra. Inhale into that cobra. Exhale, tucking toes, pushing back into our dog. Walk hands and feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to rise. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Stepping one foot back, then the other. Plank. Easing on down to find our preparation for cobra. Inhale into cobra. Tuck our toes. Push back into that dog. We'll come down to all fours here. And from all fours, we'll do some stretching here. Let's start by bringing that right foot in. Left leg nice and straight out. Toes pointed towards the sky. Find a nice seat. Inhale those arms up. We're going to exhale that left hand over to that right knee. Ooh, and then sweep it over to the side. Nice stretch on the right side here. Stretching out through the fingertips. Keeping that arm and ear close together. Keeping that straight leg and foot engaged. Inhale, lift and lower. And then we're just going to change the position of our body here. So the front of our body is facing the straight leg. Inhale those arms up. You might bend that knee a bit. And then exhale and come down into that stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling what serves you for rebirth and renewal. Exhaling those things that at this point in time no longer serve you. Inhale lets us lift and release. And switch legs. So bend that left knee in, right leg straight, toes engaged. Lift those arms up. Bring the right arm over to that left knee. Ooh, and let's stretch out that left side body. Stretching out through the fingertips here, keeping the ear and arm close together. Maybe noticing if it's more challenging to stretch on this side or the opposite or the equal. And then let that go. Inhale, lifts. We'll switch the position of our body so we're facing that stretched out right leg. Inhale those arms up, maybe a little bend in that knee. Exhale as we hinge and come forward. Again, noticing any differences. For me on this side, I feel more of a tug and pull here. So I know that this left hip is quite a bit tighter than my right. Just breathe into any of the tightnesses you might feel, allowing those parts of the body to renew and come back to life. Inhale, lets us lift and release. Let's bring the soles of our feet together here for a little butterfly. Cradling the feet in your interlaced fingers. Maybe engaging the lower abs, straightening out through that spine. Letting those shoulders relax, level out that chin. Little by little, maybe we'll notice that those knees can drop a little closer to the earth, to the mat. Inhale, bring those knees in. Come to the side here to prepare for a little seated boat pose. So bring those hands behind the knees. Sit back on that bottom. From knees to ankles, we're parallel with the mat. Toes pointing up to the sky. Keeping that back straight. You could release that hold and let the palms shine up to the ceiling. Shine up to the sky, creating some fire in that belly. Let's bring palms to heart center. On an exhale, we'll tap the right heel and twist to the left. Exhale, tap the left, twist to the right. Exhale, tap and twist. Exhale, tap and twist. Exhale, tap and twist. Exhale, tap and twist. Release that down. Press those legs. Bring it onto our tabletop here, lining up our wrists and shoulders, knees and hips. And let's start that cat-cow. Inhaling to lift the chin and drop the belly. Exhale to round that back and tuck the chin. Inhale's our lift. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck and round. Keep flowing with the breath. So the movement follows the breath. And I'll meet you at a nice neutral spine. Here we want to spiral the insides of our elbows so they're facing over the fingertips there. I'm going to tuck those toes, keep the head and spine and neck neutral. And we're just going to lift up a bit and let this tabletop hover. Again, creating some more fire in the core. And we'll be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that down. Push back into any child's pose that you like, wide-legged or otherwise. Arms extended or at your sides. And even cross at the elbows and rest your forehead on those bent hands. Make the child's pose comfortable for you. Release, start to walk those hands forward and push up into our first downward facing dog. Well, I guess it's not our first actually. We did quite a few there in our sun salutations. But the first of our flow, now that we're warmed up and moving, I'm going to reverse real quick in the direction of my dog. You hang out there. And in this dog, let's inhale that right leg. So here we are in our three-legged dog. Exhale, step it on through, lower that back knee. So right knee and ankle are in a nice line. You can use our fingertips for some support and to allow that heart to open a bit. Nice stretch in that left hip. The back toes are tucked. Let's straighten those out. And we're going to start to straighten that right bent knee. Begin to sit back. Right toes are now pointing up. Half splits here. Our goal at some point to get the front of the body to rest on that straight leg. Inhale, start to come forward again in that low lunge. Let's lift our arm to make it a crescent low lunge. Try and bring in the legs so we're not throwing too much into the low back there. Gonna exhale those arms down. Lift up into a high lunge. Start to straighten those legs and walk everything to the center for a wide-legged fold. Now here, arms could stay straight with palms and shoulders in alignment. We want to engage the backs of the legs here, so if there were a wall behind us, the backs of our legs would be touching that wall. You could also walk palms back so the fingertips are about right there in the middle of our arch. Bend the elbows and let the head start to drop down. Straighten those arms out. We're going to start to walk our fingertips over to the opposite side. Drop that right knee down and find our low lunge here. Again, using those fingertips right now for a little extra support. Opening that heart. Feeling a nice stretch in the right hip. Your back toes are tucked. Flatten those out. We start to straighten that bent knee, sitting back, lifting those left toes. Half splits here. Again, with the goal of moving little by little the front of the body closer and closer to that straight left leg. Inhale, start to come back to that low lunge. Lift those arms for a low crescent lunge. But really squeeze in here between the legs. Try and connect there instead of throwing it into the low back. Really establish that connection with the ground, the mat. Exhale those arms down. Tuck the toes. Come up into a high lunge. Straighten those knees. And bring it back to center here. Again, engaging the backs of those legs. So if there were a wall there, all parts of the back side will be touching that wall. Do whatever is comfortable here for the back. You could even turn those fingertips around and start to walk them further back to get that head closer to the mat. Inhale it back here to center, and we'll start to walk back around to those right toes. Step it back, find our downward dog. So here we're really going to start to move with the breath, heat it up quite a bit. So we'll try to establish the pattern of our breath, of our inhale and our exhale. And then when you've got that pattern established, feel free to flow with the breath. So on an inhale, we lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through into that low lunge. Inhale those arms for crescent. Exhale, lower those arms. Inhale, come back into that three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot down. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, step it through to lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, those arms down. Inhale, back into the three-legged dog. Exhale, full dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, lift those arms. Exhale, release. Inhale, find that three-legged dog. Exhale, release. Inhale, right leg lift. Exhale it through. Inhale those fingertips. Exhale, release. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, dog. So keep going, following the rhythm, the flow of your breath. Try and create some nice fire. Really get the energy moving in the body. By getting that moving, we're stimulating that rebirth and that renewal. So challenge yourself to maybe complete a couple more on each side. And when you're ready, I'll meet you in child's pose. Finish the flow that you're on. Spend some breaths in child's pose. When you feel like your breath has slowed down a bit there, we'll move on to our backs. Do a really nice series of twists. So as we move on to our backs, we'll do so with bent knees, allowing the body to transition. And then we'll hug those knees into our chest, maybe rock a bit from side to side. And then draw some nice circles with your knees, one direction. And then change that direction of the knee circles. Keeping those knees hugged into our chest. We'll stretch out our arms in a letter T. And on your next exhale, go ahead and let those knees drop together to one side. Turn your head to look in the opposite direction. And enjoy this twist. Anytime we twist, we're cleansing the body. So after your practice, be sure to drink some good amounts of water so you can flush all of those toxins out of your system and help add to stimulating that rebirth and renewal inside and out. Inhale, head and knees to center. Exhale, drop those knees together in the opposite direction. Turn the head the opposite way as well. And then just take some nice deep inhales and long exhales here in the twist. Next inhale, bring knees and head to center. We'll hug just the right knee into the chest. Straighten out that left leg, toes pointed towards the sky. And let's just circle that right ankle one direction. And then change those circles. Keep the knee bent in at the chest. Tee out those arms. And on an exhale, cross that bent knee across the body. Again, turning the head in the opposite direction. Finishing off that twist. Bring your right hand, left hand to that right knee to help increase the twist a bit. And that left leg remains straight. Inhale that bent knee to center. Hug it in one more time. Straighten that right leg. Let's bring that left knee in. Circle the left ankle. Change the direction of those circles. Tee out those arms. And on an exhale, cross that left knee over the body. Turn the head to look in the opposite direction. And those right fingertips could coax that knee a bit more into the twist. Inhale that knee to center again. Hug it in one more time. Straighten out that left leg. Now let's lift that right leg straight and point and flex those right toes a few times. Tee those arms out. And again on that exhale, now with the legs straight, we'll twist it over. Turn our head to look in the opposite direction. So each time, just increasing the amount of twists that we're getting simply by changing the position of the leg. Keep that leg straight as we inhale it back to center. As you exhale it down, do so with some control. And then we'll inhale that left leg straight up and point and flex those left toe tips. Tee those arms out. And on an exhale, lower that straight leg across the body. Turn the head, finishing off the twist on this side. That inhale to lift that leg straight back up, and then that exhale to lower with some control. Might be good first to tuck your hands underneath your bottom, because you guessed it, we're going to inhale and lift up both legs. Now before we move into a double leg lift twist, we're going to take about 10 breaths here with our legs up. This is so great for the rebirth and the renewal because things are now moving in a different direction. So anytime we get things moving, we do create that cycle of rebirth and renewal. Tee those arms out, and on an exhale, begin to lower both legs together over to one side, keeping them straight, really pushing out through the soles of the feet. And then turn that head to look in the opposite direction. Okay, here's our challenge. So keeping the legs straight and together, inhale them to center. And let's hold here again for another 10 breaths. The legs up. So really pressing through the soles of the feet. So we're not being passive here, we're being very active and engaging the legs, trying to push up to the ceiling, really allowing the energy and everything else to flow in a different direction here. Stimulate some good renewal, rebirth. Tee those arms out, and on your next exhale, legs straight and together. Lower them over to the other side, pushing out through the soles of the feet in this twist, and turning the head to look in the opposite direction. Challenge here with the core, legs straight and together. Inhale them back to center. Maybe place those palms underneath the bottom. And then with some control, lower those legs back down to the mat. And here's where we'll find that prop. So whether it's a blanket that you've got rolled up, or you have a bolster, you want it to go long ways on your mat. And we'll push that right up to our bottom there and start to lay the spine, the length of the spine, onto that bolster, onto that blanket. Allow the head to rest there as well, making any adjustments. Let the arms go wherever's comfortable. And then decide what's going to be best for those legs. Straight out, maybe cobbler's pose. Might be helpful. I'm going to use a block right here. You got a blanket, put under the head. And so our goal in any kind of restorative, supportive posture is to allow what's being supported by the prop to be fully supported by that prop. All other parts of the body should be able to be completely relaxed, not holding on to any tension, not holding on to anything. So arms should just be completely relaxed. Legs, feet. And the bolster is supporting the spine, supporting the back. In this restorative bridge pose to help us find rebirth and renewal. This restorative posture will also serve as our final relaxation position. So I invite you to make any adjustments so that you're comfortable here for a good 5 minutes or so. restoring, renewing bridge pose for a bit longer. These postures really do their work the longer that we're able to hold them with a conscious mind. And when you are ready to wrap up, maybe wiggle toe tips and fingertips a bit. Even with the prop, it should be possible to do a little full body stretch here. And then just gently roll off that prop onto your side. Pushing back up to that seated position when you're ready. Bringing palms back to heart center. And again, reflecting on that quote from Rumi. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself. Namaste and peace, yogis.